Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another video, and for today's video I am going to be doing my week 1 check-in for my February monthly budget. I actually just filmed my January results video, so go ahead and check that out if you guys have not. I do still feel sick, but I did take a break for a couple of hours and I do feel a little bit better, so hopefully I'm not too bad in this video. But I know in the other video I was probably really bad. So I'm actually going to quickly, before I start with anything else, set up my weekly check-in page, which is going to be on the page right behind my February budget setup. So let me go ahead and do that, and for that I'm just going to use some leftover cherry washi print and my weekly check-in that correlates with that washi from my Etsy shop, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm all done laying down my stickers for this spread, and now I think first I'm going to take out my little tabs, like my key, because I still had it in January, because I just filmed that video like I mentioned. And I'm going to now take a look at how I will be spreading out my weeks. I typically like to do it from Monday through Sunday, but since the very beginning of the month started on a Saturday, I decided to include those 2 days in with this weekly check-in. So for week 1, I'm going to be checking in from the 1st all the way through the 9th, which is kind of long. It's actually almost like a week and a half, I would say, but that's just how it worked out this month. So week 1 is going to be from the 1st until the 9th, and then week 2 is going to be from the 10th until the 16th, and then week 3 is going to be from the 17th until the 23rd, and I believe I'm going to only have 4 weeks, so the last one's going to be a totals for me. So week 4 is going to be from the 24th until the 29th, so the very end of the month. So what I have here in my weekly check-in, which I've done before on my channel, is I have little script stickers, so just in case the last one you want it to be a results, which is exactly what I'm going to do, and you can lay it just on top of that and it works perfectly. I could put all the other script stickers for the other weeks, but I think I'm just going to leave it like so. Okay, and now that I've made my really crooked lines, I am all ready to weekly check in for week 1. So I'm going to write down my categories. So as you guys know, I grouped some of my cash dividers, which is what I am using for this month. If you guys have not checked out my cash stuffing video for this month, you definitely should, because I am using a new system. I go over that on there, but I do have my cash dividers here. So these are my first 3 and my second 3. So I have that, and I will be counting what money I have left over in each one of them like I always do. But I group a couple of my categories together. I've mentioned this before, but just because it's more convenient for me and because of space purposes in my planner, I am using the Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner, if you guys are wondering, in the 7x9 size. So food is going to be both my groceries and eating out cash envelopes. Cash dividers, I can't get used to saying that because I've used cash envelopes for so long. But the next category is going to be gas, which this one is by itself. Then we have shopping, and this one is both my allowance and beauty cash dividers. And then last but not least, I have budgeted, which is for any budgeted expenses that I may have throughout the month. And I am all ready now. I actually don't have any of my budget expense stickers laid down because I thought that I would do it on camera for you, but I do have them already in here. So let me go ahead and bring out my Micro Happy Planner, which is where I keep all of my trackers for my cash dividers. So as you guys can see, I have them right here for every single one of my cash dividers. So let's go ahead and take a look. On the second, I haven't done a Super Bowl, which I don't typically bet, especially on like Super Bowl games or anything like that, but one of my neighbors was doing like this table. I don't know if you guys have ever like bet money on like Super Bowl games, but my dad told me about it and he asked me if I wanted to be in it, so I was like, you know what, why not? And I ended up betting, I guess you could say, $20 on 2 tables, and I ended up winning one of the tables fourth quarters. So even though I did spend $20, I ended up getting back $130, which is really good. Well, actually $110, because I ended up giving $20 to my brother because he's the one who chose like the numbers and stuff. So $110 is pretty good. So I ended up winning my money back and more. So that was cool. And then after that, and that same day I did go to Marshall's because I picked up a couple of things for my closet. I am filming a closet organization video, which I still have yet to finish. And since I am sick, I don't know when I'll be finishing that, but that was $33 on the second. Let's see. I didn't have any expenses on the 3rd or the 4th. I did have my PayPal bill on the 5th. And then I think everything just skips over to, I want to say, the 7th. I think I had quite a bit of expenses on the 7th. So I might have to even take out that 7 little date dot. So on the 7th, I ran quite a few errands. I went to Marshall's again, and I ended up taking, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I decided to include a little bit more money in my groceries cash divider to make it work also as a household one, because I knew that I was going to buy things for my closet. But I ended up spending a little bit more than I thought I was going to spend, so I decided to split the second Marshall's run that I had in 2. So part of it came out of my groceries divider, and the second part came out of my allowance. So in total I spent $60, which was quite a bit, and I think moving forward I am just going to use my winnings from the Super Bowl to fund whatever else I'll buy for my closet. I think that should work fine. I also went to Denny's with my boyfriend and his sister. I only paid for tip, which is $5, so that was good. And then I went to Sally's. I bought hair dye and like a clip, and then last but not least I had Starbucks. So as you guys can see, I have 5 expenses, so I know that I definitely will be having to take out the 7 little date dot, which is okay. Like I know 5 of my little budget expense stickers fit perfectly within a box, so that works, and I don't really need to know that it's the 7th because I know that by knowing that this is the 6th and this is the 8th, so it works out. So let me do the 2 Marshalls first. And then I will do Denny's. Then Sally's. And then last but not least, I'll do Starbucks. So as you guys can see, in one of the monthly boxes, 5 of them fit perfectly. Now if you have more than 5, I don't know what to tell you, but 5 of them fit perfectly in there, so that works out for me. And then last but not least, I believe my last couple of expenses I had was on the 9th. I finally went grocery shopping, but first I went to a sushi place with my parents and my brother Andrew. I actually don't remember the last time that I went out to eat with them, so it was really nice, and I just ended up splitting it with my dad. So that was $40 for Hickory. Then I went to Food for Less and Target. And Food for Less, and at Food for Less I spent $39. And I think just to break up the little pink stickers, I'll put my second Starbucks expense, which this I ended up reloading my Starbucks card, so I believe I still have $5 in there for this next week whenever I go get coffee. And then Target I spent $13. So now those are all of my expenses. Yes, okay, so now all ready to weekly check-in. So I've had quite a bit of no spend days, so that's really good. Hopefully I have enough, but let me see. I have payday stickers in my add-on sheet. Yes, so I do get paid on Tuesdays and did pay for insurance. Now I think I paid for insurance on the 7th, so I'm not going to put it there. I think I'll just put it on the 8th. That works out. Okay. And for this, I do count it as a no spend day because I have a sinking fund for that. So, okay. So in total so far, I had a no spend day on the 1st, on the 3rd, on the 4th, on the 6th, and on the 8th. Wow, that worked out perfectly. Okay, that's great. I love when things work out this way. Like, they don't always do, but when they do, it's really satisfying. Okay, now I'm going to go to my weekly check-in, and we're going to start with food, which is all of my pink stickers, which are once again my groceries and eating out dividers. Now let me go ahead and start with adding all of those up. So we have, I hope you guys can see that, we have 33 plus 13 plus 39 plus 40 plus 5 and 30. So in total I spent $160 for food. I started with $250 plus $125. So that minus $160 means that I have $215 remaining. So let's go ahead and take a look for groceries. For groceries, I should have $135 left, which is right here. So we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 120, 130, and 135. That is for my groceries. Little divider. And then for eating out, we should have $80 left. So we have 50, 70, and 80 right there. And if just a little update on the cash dividers, I really have been enjoying them, and I feel like they have been so much more convenient, especially just because they are in my wallet rather than them being in my personal planner, which I never thought that I would say that, but it's just became so much more convenient. But of course, I really loved having my cash envelopes in my personal planner, so if that works out for you, then you do you, boo. Next for gas, I'm just going to quickly put, I already know off the bat I didn't spend any money, and I did budget $80, so I should still have the $80 remaining in there. So here's my cash, my gas cash divider, so 20, 40, 60, and 80. And I can start checking off what I've already tracked. So I tracked all of these pink ones. Okay. So that's that. Then we have shopping. So we have in here Super Bowl, which was $20, Sally's, which was $28, and Marshall's, which was $30. That means that I spent $78 for shopping. And we started with 100 and 160, so 260 minus 78 means that we should have 182 left over. So for allowance, we should have 50, which we do. I have 50 here. And then for beauty, we should have 132 after our Sally's run. So we have 50, 100, 120, 130, 132. 132. And then last but not least, I do have coffee in here, but I don't weekly check in for that. But I did spend $20, so I still have the 30 here. And I do have a little divider for that. I created one for this month. And I do have 30, so 10, 20, 5, and 30. And we don't have any unbudgeted expenses this week, which is always great when that happens. And I'm just going to draw a dash here because I don't budget anything for unbudgeted. So that is pretty much everything that I have for the weekly check-in part of things. Now I am going to go ahead and bring you guys to a page I've never shown you guys before I go check in with sinking funds and stuff. And that is the new notes pages and the Erin Condren planners. Now, I have never shown this just because by the time that I filled it in, I went ahead and just filled everything and things that I don't necessarily disclose. But I thought that I would prevent myself from doing that just because I've gotten a couple of questions as to how it is that I set up the note pages. Now, I tried to make it a little bit fancier than usual, and it turned out being a hot mess, and I honestly kind of hate it, but this is kind of the gist of it. It is definitely, most of the time, the most simplest page that I have in all of my budget planner, because as you guys know, I like to decorate my planner with a ton of stickers, but the only stickers that I use in here really are my note page script stickers that I do offer in my shop. This is sort of what these pages look like. I really actually hate how these things came out. I try to use the Erin Condren stencil with a dual tip marker, and as you guys can see, it didn't come out good at all, but let me not focus on that. In this page, I like to have a this month sort of section where it is that I put things that I know are going to require me spending money. So I have my birthday, I need cart maintenance done, I'm going to a Sweethearts Night at Disneyland, Hello Kitty Cafe, just things that I know that I'll be spending money on, just to remind myself before the month starts. And as the weeks go by, I like to add other things. Like I know for sure another thing that I could add in here would be that I have to register for my written exam, so I probably will be adding that in there. And then in this section, I like to put my cash envelope spending. So I will put at the end of the month how much in total I spent for groceries, eating out, gas allowance, beauty, and coffee in here. Then I have my financial goals, which my financial goals are pretty simple. They're pretty much the same every month. I think this month I put that I wanted to start investing, but I want to definitely start researching that before I start investing, but wanted to put that in there just to remind me to do that. And then in this little box here, I put my credit score, little script sticker. So on top here, I'll put my beginning score, and then right here, I'll put my ending score at the end of the month. And then at the bottom here, I like to kind of split this into two sections. So I have my savings and my debt. And here I will put my beginning amount for the month and then my ending amount. And then as well as the same thing for debt. So my beginning amount and ending amount, which essentially I do have a whole spread in the 12 boxes in the beginning of the planner, but I do like to keep this on a month-to-month basis on here too. So that's kind of what I have set up. I hope that this gives you a little bit of inspiration. I know I always get asked to show this page, so I thought I would show it in this weekly check-in video. So that is that. And now moving on to sinking funds. I've had quite a few transactions for this. I've got quite a lot of cart maintenance done. So on the first, I spent $140 for maintenance and oil change. Paul actually took my car and did that for me, so thank you, love. Me and Paul went on a date night, so I spent $8 for a tip. And then medical, on the second, I spent $11. I ended up getting a hair and nail vitamins. And then on the 5th, I did more car maintenance for $400, and my dad actually did this for me. I got new tires, and he also washed my car. And my dad is really good with knowing people and like getting along and making friends out of them. So he actually got a really good deal on the tires that I got in my car. So I'm really happy about that, because he says that typically they would be a lot more than what I paid for. So I'm really thankful for that. Next, on the 7th, I paid my car insurance for $300. And then on the 8th, I spent money out of my birthday's fund. I spent $35, and that was for my friend Monica's birthday present. I ended up just getting her a Target gift card because I didn't know what else to get her, so that was that. And then last but not least, this is something that I just added right now because I decided to take a bit of my cash envelope savings from January. I only took $35 out of there, and I decided to put them into my medical sinking fund. So that's how I went ahead and put that in there. And that is pretty much it for my sinking funds spread so far. I've already written quite a few things, and I typically don't do that, so we'll see if I have to maybe use a sticky note for any other transactions near the end of this month. We'll see. But that is that too. And then the last things that I will show you guys will be my variable income spread, which I actually haven't made that many expenses as I usually do, just because I definitely thought that I needed to cut a bit down on my business expenses for this month. So, and then last but not least, I wanted to go ahead and mention that I did get a check, well, actually not a check, a transfer from Ebates, which I know it as Ebates, but I know that it has changed its name to Rakuten. I always have a link for it down below, so make sure to check it out. I believe you get $10 if you guys use my link, but essentially what Ebates or Rakuten is a website where you guys get cash back for online purchases. So I know there is probably, I think, like Macy's, Ulta, Sephora. I know they had Etsy before in the past. And they have a bunch of other retailers, so make sure to check that out if you guys are interested or like to shop online. So I wasn't estimating anything here, but then I'll put the actual later on. And that is pretty much all that I have for this. And with that being said, that is pretty much all that I have for this video as well. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully the next time that you guys see a video from me, I'm not as sick as I currently am. Please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. And hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next one. Bye guys.